like a volcano. Lord Jesus.
Lord help us.
Jesus.
I'm going to do some of this from Instagram tonight. Well, that's leading up to the build-up.
Ooh, what's the dude up all out butt naked? It sounds like that's where you're going with it.
Oh,
We're going to be on in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Good evening, everyone. This is the first time I'm actually streaming live from Instagram. This is the Intimacy Chronicles, and I am your host, Queen Jackie. Joining me over in the corner temporarily is Mr. Sensational. I would imagine that my other co-host, Dr. Love, is on his way.
He's over here sexy.
And he's getting his sexy on. And the Quiet Storm will not be joining us tonight. However, just to give you a heads up on what we will be discussing, we're going to actually be talking about sexual fetish. And what's your and what's your fetish? I have a few that I will be sharing during the course. I have a few. I mean, there's like, actually, believe it or not, there's like 46 different sexual fetishes.
Wrote a book about it. Here
you go. I'm not going to get into mine just yet. I'll name a few, but so, and talking about having a sexual fetish, I think that people don't know or probably are not clear on what a fetish is. The thing that, for me, I have a couple, and they're not as far out as maybe some people's fetish may be. One of my fetishes is voyeurism. I have a thing about watching, which is probably why I like porn. It excites me. Not sure where I got that habit from, but it's what I like. And the thing that I can be honest about is I'm very comfortable in my sexual power. I'll say that. I'm not afraid to explore, and when we're talking about different aspects of sex or intimacy, relationships, and love, I think that you have to, in order to reach your sexual potential, I think there has to be some level of comfort with self. If not, it seems like perhaps you are limiting your sexual experience. For me, I think I learned at, probably a young age, how to probably experience the most out of sex. And I used to do a lot of reading, different books and stuff on sex. But that's just me. I think that a lot of times when you start thinking about what the kids are learning in school, is it enough information for them to make informed decisions on having intercourse with another party? I think that sometimes kids have sex at a young age because some of it is lack of education, some of it is looking for love. Perhaps they're not getting it from home. There are different reasons, but I think that we have to empower these kids with education. So I know for me, I talked to my son at a young age. So I didn't want him going out, finding out, misinformation. Even when it came down to condoms, again, like I said, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I used my vibrator to show him how to put a condom on, because if he decided to have sex, I wanted him to be prepared. But then that's just me. Like I said, I'm very open-minded, so I don't have a problem being able to discuss really anything. And I live in the judgment-free zone. So I think that's why people are often comfortable talking to me about different things, because I'm an open-minded person. So I'm going to go down the list of some of these fetishes, which I thought were pretty interesting. I think, and believe me, some of them are kind of hard to pronounce. But the first one, which is one I've never heard of, is the arousal to amputees. And it is called acrotomophilia. Never heard of that, but again, whatever floats your boat. To look at someone or amputee and say, ooh, that's such a turn on. That's not my thing, but there are people out here that are attracted to that. So, again, live and let live, but that's a little different. So the other one is actorasti, which is the arousal of the sun rays, which I think that's pretty interesting. I'm not sure what about sun rays that would actually turn you on. However, I guess it comes down to preference. The thing with fetishes, they start somewhere. And I probably would say with me, with the voyeurism, probably started at a young age. I can remember, playing hide and seek, and I happened to stumble upon a couple that were in the alley, and they were having sex. For me, seeing that for the first time, it was kind of a turn on, and for me, it's like, hence, I guess that's where the voyeurism began. And at that age, I was only, I probably was about 12 or 13 years old, but I knew I liked what I saw. There began the pornography. My co-host, Dr. Love, has just joined us. I'm going down the list of fetishes. There's your copy.
I'm glad because I want to see this. I didn't see it last time.
You're live, so I'm on Instagram, so you're probably going to have to stream live from the Intimacy Chronicles, because we don't get to do Instagram often. So, this is... I know it's going to be a wild night, because the guys have been asking for this, so... With that being said, I'm going to let my co-host kind of dive in and browse the list. I mean, his eyes are so big right now. So
only because I didn't see it last time. I didn't see it last time. I didn't see it last time. I really want. The last time we talked about this, she forgot the list. I had to send her a text today. Don't forget the list. Don't forget the list. Like, this is like, you know how something is like up your alley? This is right up my alley right here. So I'm going to scope this list, because she says 46.
There's 46 of them.
So I need to, Well,
take your time.
These are all words I ain't never heard of before.
I just wanted you to say hello to the, our Instagram folk. I guess it's interesting. Everybody has their own. I mean, I want to, as far as the fetishes are concerned, the show actually is funny. We were talking about sexual fetish, and the freaks come out at night. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I never understood why that statement was made, because I think a freak would be out whether it's day or night. So
the freaks come. Let me tell you, the freaks come out anytime. It's just at night, people prefer the darkness.
Well, if you're comfortable in what you're doing, then it doesn't matter whether it's day or night. That's just my opinion. But then I like to dress up in costumes, so.
Yeah, we do know that. And the bad part about it is,
I would have came dressed in a costume tonight, because I love dress up.
And it's coming back again.
Perhaps they didn't allow me to dress up much as a kid.
And it's coming back again.
It's coming back again. Next week I might come dressed as something, but Yeah. From time to time, if you follow us, you'll notice that, yeah, I come on the show sometimes dressed up. That's one of my fetishes. I love dress up. I love extreme dress up.
Extreme, yeah, she goes extreme.
I have a whip. I think I bought my whip into the station before, so yeah, it's kind of like no telling what I may come dressed up as.
No telling.
This is conservative
no telling.
tonight, so
she has no filter.
I have no filter
as far as what you want to wear.
But what I'll say again, and I say this all the time, I'm very comfortable with my sexual power. As I mentioned on the last show, we live in a male-dominated society, so when a woman is comfortable in her sexual power, she's labeled as a whore, promiscuous, but that is by a man's standard. When a man slings his dick around from woman to woman, no one calls him a whore. No one says.
Yeah, we are.
Well,
we consider the man whore.
Well, again, but it's dirty when a woman is comfortable enough to.
Not necessarily. I guess it's whoever eyes you viewing it from.
So if
in our eyes, we. I don't know if we view y'all as whores.
Well, a couple of shows ago, what you said
the women does.
A man doesn't want a woman that's open like 7-Eleven. Is that not what you said?
Oh, I did say that.
So
I did say that, and everybody has been into a 7-Eleven either once or twice. I'm so serious.
So what qualifies as a 7-Eleven? That's what I want to know.
Listen, what have you been in 7-Eleven?
I have.
And what's in 7-Eleven?
Junk. I mean, are you saying 7-Eleven because it's 24 hours?
No. What is 7-Eleven?
It's a convenience store.
And what is in 7-Eleven?
But does that make
what
the lady...
What can you find in 7-Eleven?
But convenience. But what I'm saying is, does that make her a whore because she's open to sex?
Would you put it?
I'm going to disagree with that. Hey, Lonnie.
Because she's not open like that?
I'm going to disagree that doesn't make her a whore because she's comfortable enough
to just give it away.
If it's what she wants, it's her snatch.
7-Eleven.
It's her snatch.
7-Eleven.
That doesn't make her 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. What's in 7-Eleven? There's snacks in 7-Eleven.
Does it make a woman a whore because she's comfortable? Perhaps she might not want to wait 3 weeks or 90 days to have sex. Perhaps she wants to have sex on the first night. Does that make her a whore?
No, that makes her vulnerable.
It doesn't make her vulnerable. It makes her horny. Thank you, Lonnie. Thank you.
Oh man, here we go.
I mean, it's just. I think that
okay,
men.
Let's flip it. Does it make us a whore?
You all are naturally whores.
Ain't that see?
But no, I'm going to be honest. To be quite honest, I'm going to take that back. That was just a joke. I think it doesn't make men whores, but men have a stigma that they're dogs. I don't think that all men are dogs. So, and not every man is willing to throw his dick up on the table. You know, maybe they're looking for a certain thing. You know what I mean? How promiscuous are you?
Not promiscuous to throw my man on the table.
I
tell
know
you that.
First of all, Lonnie say he is. Lonnie, you're a thot, okay?
I'm just.
But no, I mean, I'm just going to be. It doesn't make you all a whore, but men have a reputation. Men have reputations of being whores. True or false?
Some men.
Some men.
Can we say, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll say
some
just
men.
like, well, I mean,
some men.
Not all women are promiscuous. Some women aren't comfortable in their sexuality to be promiscuous. Does it mean that, does it mean that you're less of a woman because you're promiscuous?
I mean,
you could just really love sex.
Right.
Yeah. So
I love it, enjoy it, the whole 9 yards.
Women enjoy it just as much. What I don't understand is why we're labeled. But again, I want to go back to this fetish list. Lonnie, what's your fetish? You can text me or inbox me. I'm going to put it out to my Instagram. What's your sexual fetish?
Wow.
Like I said, I don't have a problem sharing mine.
Well, Shauna says men always call women whores when we want to get. Well, let me see. Men always call women whores when we want to give it up on the first night.
But that doesn't qualify
But it's
us as
okay.
being whores.
Huh?
That doesn't qualify us as being whores.
She said, but it's okay when they give it up on the first night.
Right. Are you a whore because you give it up on the first night? I'm asking you. Because I know you've given it up on the first night many times. So, does that make you a whore?
Don't fucking judge me. Okay? The mood was right. Okay?
And that's
Don't
the same
judge
with
me.
us.
The mood was right.
That's
The mood was ready.
With us. I don't feel like I have to wait.
You know, and it wasn't like I paid to play. I'm just saying.
Put that out there.
I'm gonna throw it out there.
Okay.
I ain't like I paid to play, but the mood was right. The dinner was right. The bed was right.
She paid. You paid for dinner. You said that, she cooked.
It was, well, it was either way.
Okay.
It was either way.
Okay.
You know, and the wine was right.
Well, the wine always.
I'm telling
pay
you.
To play, Lonnie.
If you don't have a good wine, you ain't getting the drawers. I'm sorry.
Well, it doesn't always come down to the wine. It comes back to one.
It come down for the liquor.
And one. I'm gonna go down some of the list of fetishes. I mean, it's so different. One was coprophilia, arousal to feces. Now, again, this is a no judgment zone. I'm not really sure what the attraction to feces are, but there are people that is their fetish. What?
Richard said, we don't call them whores. We call them back the next day.
You go, see.
Good one, Rick.
That was a good one.
Good one, Rick. Oh, man. Brandy says, cool, so if everything was right, what's wrong with giving it up on the first night?
Absolutely.
Not a thing. Not a thing. Not a thing.
You know.
Not a thing.
It was one that really, arousal to sex in front of mirrors.
Which one is that?
Catapatronophilia.
Now you want to forgive us because
that's mine.
These are college words.
But you know what?
I didn't go to college.
Because I do kind of like to be in front of the mirror and watching. But don't judge me. Shit, I'm comfortable in my skin.
Wait a minute. Okay, so the word that she's saying is cataptronophilia.
Yes, it is the
cataptronophilia.
Arousal to sex in front of mirrors.
So how many of you all
and that's a turn on
get aroused while watching yourself in the mirror?
I would have to say that is definitely one of my fetishes.
Now explain that. Because are you getting aroused putting on your clothes?
No.
Or are you just getting aroused just seeing yourself naked?
Seeing myself, I always like seeing myself naked.
Give it up.
But don't fucking judge me.
I ain't judging you. There's been times I looked at myself in the mirror like,
I'm just saying, I like that. It's something so, when you can look at yourself and be turned on, it's a matter of being comfortable in your own skin. Not just that, though, I like having sex in front of a mirror. That's just me.
Now, facing the mirror, or are you one of those ones that need the mirror to be over top of the bed where you can see yourself and stuff?
I'm going to say I could do both, but I like to actually be standing in front of the mirror. I want to be, bent over and watch him.
Watch in the mirror?
Yeah. Oh, that just gets me so hot. It's kind of like the equivalent of watching porn, but I'm the porn star. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, wow.
But that's just me, I mean, when we do a show like this, it's kind of like it's no holds barred. So we're gonna snatch the sheets off of our own selves. You know what I'm saying? I can't ask you to be honest if I'm not willing to be honest about some of the things that turn me on. Well, that's one of the things that turn me on, and it is what it is. You know.
Right.
But I know a couple of guys that like that too.
Right.
And back in the day, it was nothing to go over a guy's house and he had the mirrors on the ceiling. Well, you're 39, so.
I'm 39, so.
Yeah, you are. But that was not your generation.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. But I've
your
heard about that.
Yeah, it was like a
about
big
the mirrors
thing,
and stuff like that.
Or you go to someone's house and they got the red light bulb.
Now I got that.
To set the mood.
Now I got that.
Now I think that
I got that.
That's not just limited to like my generation. That's something that people still do even now. The interesting thing is, I like a blue light. It's something about the blue light.
Do I got a blue?
Yeah,
I got a blue light. I got a blue light too.
Red light thing, but I like the blue light.
I got a blue light too.
Because the color blue is erotic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is. That red light special.
The red light is too distracting.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
But the blue light, woo.
You don't want to get a red light.
It's gonna break their concentration.
Yeah, you don't want to get a red light. Let me see some of these.
Yeah,
Shauna says, so is there a double standard?
There is a double standard. Yes. I think that a woman that is, very much comfortable in her sexuality, again, is labeled a whore, or she's too sexually open. But I think that comes from insecure men.
Okay.
We are a society driven by men. So, of course, that is always going to be the opinion. But then there are a lot of men that don't have a problem with a woman being sexually empowered.
Okay.
So I think it depends on the man. But I will have to say that I think only an insecure man would be intimidated by a woman that's comfortable in her skin sexually.
Right. So Richard says, seriously, at a certain age, if you want it, go for it.
Yeah.
And the chemistry is hitting, it's all good, no judgment.
It's no judgment, because at the end of the day, we're adults. We're consenting adults. So if you took me out to dinner and I decided, hey, the mood is right, I want it, you want it, so be it.
Right.
And the thing is, if you decide not to call me the next day, that's your hang up.
Which no man will.
Yeah, I mean, that's your hang up. That's not my thing, but we both got what we wanted that night, and again, que sera,
Right.
So that's just how I feel on that. Not everybody is probably as liberal thinking.
Okay.
It's
good to be
and I can
liberal.
Appreciate that.
Right.
But I can't be in the box.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but
right.
That's just me.
Hey Brandy, you say men or women? Give me. Come back with your question so I know what you're talking about. Richard says smashophilia, the desire to smash anything with a pulse. That must be on here.
It is, because he probably pulled up the list. No, that's not on here. He's just being a smart ass.
Right. I know he is.
I know he is. Smart ass, folks.
So, and then he says, correct Jackie. It's probably an issue with control when a woman can dictate and empower herself. Some men have issues with that.
And that is, I'm going to have to ask, isn't that an insecurity factor? I mean, if you have a problem with me being sexually comfortable in my own skin, that's not my issue, that's yours.
True.
Yeah.
True. Because we wouldn't want y'all to have a problem with us being, sexual in our skin.
Right. I think that, two consenting adults should be able to come together and You know, if I'm not saying I'm gonna make you my bitch. You know.
Well, damn.
I'm just
Well,
saying
damn.
I know what I like, and I can help you get me there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it's not a matter of me telling you how to please me. It's a matter of us getting there together. If I want to have that, as I like to call it, that epic or cataclysmic orgasm.
Here we go. We ain't heard that word in a while.
Yeah, I gotta show you how to get me there.
Right.
And I'm a woman that I like to have multiple orgasms. So I'm gonna show you how to take me there.
So, okay, so you were saying something about, you know, where you don't have to tell the person, you know, what to do or whatever. What if there is a situation where you have to teach that person
But I think
what
men
to
have
do
a problem with that.
in the bed
Yeah.
in order to get you there?
I think that
I mean,
you
some of us men,
are
not me.
intimidated by a woman telling you,
not me.
not telling you what to do, but guiding you on how to take her to that next level.
I would have to say, I'm glad you tweeted that.
I had to tweak it.
Yeah, I'm glad you tweeted
it.
that.
Yeah.
I prefer guided. I don't like,
Yeah,
you know.
teaching means that you're inexperienced.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's not teaching, it's guiding you in the right direction so that we can both have a pleasurable experience.
Because, you know, some of y'all women, y'all like to say automatically, damn, I had to teach that motherfucker how to eat. I had to teach that motherfucker how to fuck. I had to teach that motherfucker this. I had to teach him that. I ain't got time to be teaching no motherfucking boy in bed. Y'all know how y'all women is. Y'all terrible. Y'all cold. Y'all cold. Because we don't say that shit. We men, we don't say no.
Hold up.
We as men, when we converse.
If she ain't handling your equipment right.
Hold on. When we as men, when we talk, we don't never say. We'll say, "Damn, boy, she couldn't even swallow the motherfucker, or she couldn't take the, you know, the dick in the mouth." Or no, we don't say that. We say that, but we don't say, "I had to teach her." We don't never say that we had to teach you to do anything. You feel what I'm saying? We don't say that. We just say,
I guess.
"Nah, damn, you know, she was giving me head. She was using the teeth."
But now,
or the pussy was dry as sandpaper.
Oh God.
You know?
You don't think that's worse? I mean, goddamn.
Damn right it is. If you're a woman and your pussy is dry as sandpaper, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, I
should
think,
be a damn shame of yourself.
And I'm gonna say, because we've talked about this a few times, I'm actually gonna say I'm gonna disagree with that. I think sometimes it comes down to knowing our bodies. I think there are some of us that may not really know our bodies. If you have a problem with vaginal dryness or whatever the case may be, it comes down to knowing yourself, knowing what works for you.
Right.
There are different things you can do if you do have vaginal dryness. There's KY, there's massage lotion of different types. There are things that you can do to resolve those issues, and sometimes it could be maybe the man hasn't aroused her enough for her to get wet. So
okay.
Don't just say that it's just the woman, because you may not be turning her on.
Okay.
So again, that comes with learning. So, which is kind of like what this show is about. We like to be able to educate, learn from you, guide, share information. So, yeah, I mean, getting back to this list, I'm curious to know what your fetish is. You've had time to review.
Yeah. I'm with you on the one that we talked about.
The mirrors.
And there's some on here that I'm not okay with.
Yeah.
And that's I think it's pronounced masochism.
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 Now, for those who don't know what that is arousal to experiencing physical and psychological pain. I'm not with that.
Now, I think, okay, because I mean, sex is pain and pleasure.
No.
What I'm saying is, I think
you like to have your ass whipped.
No, not that. I think it depends on the level of pain you're talking. It's not where somebody's going to punch you on your damn face and you're turned on, you know. I think it depends on the degree.
Yeah.
I know people that kind of like to be choked a little bit.
See, I ain't with that. I did that one time and I was afraid.
Who in the hell can get their hand around your goddamn neck since we talking?
Listen, first of all, if I was the kind of person that liked that, try, damn it. Try. Shit.
I mean, damn, they
put the arm on it or something. Shit, put the arm there.
The psychological thing is a little different. I don't really get that. I don't think that. Why would you want to have psychological pain inflicted on you in order to be turned on? I don't get that. Not psychological pain.
Not okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a mental breakdown.
But you like the physical though.
I like to wrestle. And
you like to whip.
No, you can't whip me. I just like the idea of having a whip. Again, don't fucking judge me. You know.
You thought I forgot about that, didn't you?
I mean, and I'm
dressed up in the damn cat suit and shit.
I did one time. I came in studio.
Yeah.
Halloween, I think, or it might have been around that time, with a cat suit on and a whip.
Yeah.
And so,
the whip from our personal archive.
Yeah, I did a video with the whip, and I think they couldn't believe how good I could yield that whip.
I was afraid to come to the show that night.
But that's just me. It's all about having fun. Yeah, so I got kind of thrown off by the, yeah.
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 Turned on a little bit too, didn't you?
It got hot.
I know it did. Somebody turned. Where the AC at? Don't turn the AC up.
For the AC because I'm sweating and current on.
Oh my God.
That's my water. Yeah.
Okay, I just turned the temperature down.
Yeah, because it's hot.
Let me Brandy says that it was. I asked her what as far as the men and women. She said it was linked to what she had said at first. It shouldn't matter if a man or woman, as long as we're consenting adults.
Absolutely.
It should be it shouldn't be she's a whore or he's a whore. So that's good
adults.
too.
Yeah, it's consenting adults.
Richard said, bad enough the decision to have sex is based on the woman's consent. Now you are in total control if you cast me away and move on at a woman's desire. Just being the devil's advocate. You the devil.
Yeah, he's the devil.
Yeah, you is. LaShawna says, I don't believe it. Y'all say so much worse stuff when y'all around each other. Really, we don't. Really, as men. We really don't. We it ain't as bad as you think though, Shauna.
Y'all can go pretty hard. I mean,
huh? Not as hard as y'all.
I'm gonna say, growing up with boys and listening to a lot of the conversations that are had, which is probably why I'm brutal a lot of times, because you all can be really hard when it comes to women. You know, and I'm gonna take it back to.
That's because of the brutality of you women.
No, I think that.
You don't think so?
First of all, let me say this: when a guy is hurt one time by a woman, all the women after that have to pay.
Some men are like that.
A lot of men are like that. I mean, if you're going to be honest about it, they brought that topic up. And that's the truth. When you all are hurt, because you all are hurt deep, oh my God, every woman after that has to pay the price.
And every man too.
I think women, we adapt. We've been hurt. I'm not saying that some of us don't carry it, but I'm going to say the percentage of women to men carrying that hurt is going to be higher in men. Because you all don't accept hurt well. It's like, first of all, when you all fall, y'all fall hard. And if you get heartbroken, oh my God. It is like all hell has broken loose.
Okay, so what about y'all women? When y'all get hurt, y'all ready to, y'all, let me tell you where it started.
Here we go. I thought we was talking about sexual things.
Waiting to excel. Ever since y'all saw her burn the clothes, bust the windows out, now y'all been on, now that's just like a thing to do.
We're gonna get off topic a bit and talk about that, because I think that when a woman gets to a certain point, that point of rage, she's gone through so much bullshit with you guys that I think she may begin to feel like that's her only recourse. She snaps, because she's given her all, and then all of a sudden, you broke her heart. And so, yeah, it may be a bit extreme, but people react different. I'm not justifying that behavior because everybody deals with hurt different. But women, when you all say, oh, she's crazy or she's this, it's not just because. It's like she's gotten to that point because maybe not in your relationship but a previous relationship, and you put her through some changes and she's tired of being hurt. She's sick and tired of being sick and tired. So don't say it like she just acted out just because. That's not always the case. It's like she was pushed to that point.
Right. I agree to that.
Yeah, but y'all sit there on y'all fucking high horses acting like I don't know why she's acting like that. Believe me, we don't just get that way. There are things that lead us to that type of behavior. And again, I'm not justifying it because some people are just mentally unstable. But it could be one thing that really pushes them over the edge. So, I mean, if we're going to be fair, you can't just say, oh, she zapped out for no reason. I mean, let's be fair here.
Yeah, okay. Now, back to these fetishes.
Yeah.
I see one that I like.
You got excited. Hey, LaShawna.
See one that I like, but I want to make sure that this is a neutral one. It's on the next page. And it's called pedophilia.
Where's that at? Where is that at?
Right there before the S's.
Oh, well, isn't that every man?
Now
what he's talking about, pedophilia, is arousal to butts.
Women's butts.
But it says butts. It's not general. It says butts.
Okay, but I'm arousal to women's.
Okay, but isn't that like
women's butts?
Every man?
Well, let me tell you what's so bad. Whenever we see a woman go down the street, we pay attention to your face.
But your eyes drop to her
But
ass.
our eyes literally drop to a woman's butt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, we got to see what y'all working with back there. I'm sorry. I mean.
But it doesn't mean that the ass is good just because she has a fat ass. I mean, let's be honest.
We got to see what y'all. We got to see what y'all working with back there.
Exactly, LaShawna. Here we go again. Do you trust me? Wait a minute, dang it. You done got excited and knocked my shit down.
Listen. Don't start. Okay? Don't start. It was a one-time thing. Let's not go back into that.
Is that
okay?
a fetish?
Let's not go back to that, sis.
Is that a fetish? I gotta look at LaShawn.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I gotta look on my fetish list.
Don't do
and
that.
See if that's a fetish.
What? Yeah,
having your cheeks parted.
No,
You know,
no.
Is that a fetish? It's licking. That's a little different. I have another fetish.
It's a lot of it's a lot of fetishes out on this paper.
Tyranophilia, and that is the arousal to being tickled by feathers. And if I'm being honest, oh my God, I love feathers. And speaking from somebody that does massages and using feathers. It's so freaking exciting. That softness, like stroking your skin and touching key areas on your body is such a turn on. And if you haven't experienced that, I would definitely say visit your local toy store and get you some feathers, because that is like one of my things.
I think that's usually a turn on.
The feathers.
To a woman.
If
she stroked with a feather.
I know some guys that like that too. The door was open, LaShawn, and he walked into that.
No, and again, no.
Are you saying? Let me ask you a question. Has a woman ever used a feather on you?
Yes.
And you didn't like it at all?
I didn't say that.
Well, then don't sit there.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I didn't say I didn't like it.
What you saying was it's more of a woman thing, and I can tell you that I know a lot of guys that like it.
Okay. Here's the thing. It was done. It was okay, but it's not something.
It's not a must-have.
Exactly.
Okay, well I can
it's
dig
not.
that.
It's not. It's not a must-have.
I can dig it. Yeah,
it's not a must-have.
Definitely dig it.
It's not a must-have.
It's not. Is it a must-have for me? I mean, if we are exploring one another, I want to try some different things. I want to see what you're into. So, yeah, I kind of would like to have it, you know. Yeah, that's kind of
now.
One of my things.
There's one out here that some of you all can agree to, because some of you all like it, and that's podophilia. Podophilia.
Arousal to feet.
Arousal to feet. Some of you women have podophilia.
Do they have it, or do they like to experience it? Do they have
I know a woman right now. She like her feet lit, but in order to get her aroused, you got to do the left foot.
Well,
just the left foot, not the right one. Leave the right one alone.
And
just her left foot.
Let me just say this. Taking reflexology, a lot of your nerve endings are in your feet, in your hands, and when you do or perform reflexology, you always start on the left side. So it is a highly sensitive area. So I can see that, and obviously somebody has caressed her feet in a way that it hooked her. So if you touch a person the right way, I can see that. It's not my thing, but I can certainly understand that. So now, go ahead.
I'm glad, because let me tell you. Okay, so it's called vorophilia.
Oh, arousal to eating another person's body parts.
I eat the booty, female booty, like groceries.
Specify that.
Like groceries. I had to put that in there.
But I think
eat
there's
female
a difference.
booty like groceries.
Are you eating it? The terminology we use, we say eat. If a guy go downtown, he's eating pussy. But you're not eating. You're licking. I think that what this means is eating. Eating a body part. Like it's food. Nobody cares that you like to eat ass or you like to eat pussy. What I'm saying?
Why Yo, you said that.
What I'm saying.
You said that so real nasty and bluntly.
What I'm saying. Well,
that
I'm
is
blunt.
just. And I'm like, okay, hey, but don't fucking judge me.
But
what
I'm not
saying,
judging. But what I'm saying is, I really believe when they're talking about that they're meaning like a Jeffrey Dahmer type.
Oh hell
eating.
no.
Like eating body parts.
No, I ain't eating no body. No.
Yeah, but I think that's what this fetish is.
But
we do know you'll eat it like groceries.
Groceries.
Right. So now that we have that all
out in the open. In the open.
In the open. So I told you, one of mine was voyeurism. I make no bones about that.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, when we did the show at Corinthians, 2 months ago, and there are a lot of men that are into urophilia, and that is the arousal to urine or urinating on others. Now, me, that's some nasty shit. That's just my opinion, but no judgment here. But that's not something I would like. Don't piss on me. Don't ask me to piss on you. Because I ain't with that. But I know, I'm not throwing anybody out there, but during the last show, we had a couple of people that were there, and that's what they were into. Now, I'm not, again, that got me kind of tongue-tied, because like I said, that's just not my thing. To each his own, live and let live, knock yourself out.
Right.
But I think that it's not exciting. That's not exciting to have somebody piss on you. But that's just me.
Now, there's a couple on here that I'm saying to myself like, wow, I can't believe what I'm saying. I'm trying to see where did I see it. It was one on here where it's an arousal. It's arousal for pubic hair.
I saw that, and let
right
me,
here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Pubophilia.
Can I just talk about that for a second? Because if I have to be honest, I like hair. I love hair. I don't.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Camera's on you.
So there's a fetish called pubophilia. I am a woman that loves a hairy guy. On the chest, but especially down there. I love hair. I know that there are men that shave. I don't know why you all do that, but I'm a woman that loves hair. I love pubic hair.
I could never. I've heard stories of guys, just in the gradual conversation, who says that if a man has hair down there, that it creates funk. I think I heard that same conversation
about
with
women, yeah.
But me personally, like, I've never shaved my pubic hair. Like,
yeah.
That's.
But I think it's each his own, but I prefer a guy to have pubic hair. I want to rub my fingers through his pubic hair.
Yeah.
But that's just me. So if that's a fetish, then I own it.
Brandy says, no, not hairy. Some hair, but not a wildebeest.
Well, I don't want that. I don't want the brandy. I don't want the hair to be coming down to his knees.
God damn.
I don't
a
want
wildebeest?
that.
What the hell is
but
that?
What I'm saying is, I do like hair down there. I want to run my fingers through the hair. So if that's considered a fetish, then that's my fetish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you say voyeurism. Now voyeurism, for those who don't know, is arousal to spying on others for sexual gratification. Spying, watching others.
If you came in late, even though the show started at 7, but you know you came in a little after 7. But I'm not being petty. I'm just saying. One of the things I said, we were playing hide and go seek. I might have been like 12 or 13, and there was a couple in the back alley. They were having sex. And I stopped. I kind of forgot I was playing hide and go seek because I was distracted and I wanted to watch. And I was being young like that and just aroused.
And you was hoping that they ain't even find you, didn't you?
They wasn't paying me no mind. I mean, hell.
No, I'm not talking about
talking
that.
about the hide and go
seekers?
Well, by the time I brought my friends back to watch, they were gone. They were gone. So, I mean, as I said at the beginning of the show, these fetishes start somewhere. For me, with the voyeurism, that started, around 12 or so after seeing the couple out having sex.
Now,
and I liked what I saw.
Now, I would like to do this. I would like to know from our viewers, do anybody that don't mind that will admit to what their fetish is?
Well, I asked on my Instagram for, the ones that I have too. Then no one has said anything. I asked for, you can direct message me, but please don't send me any dick pictures because I'm not interested.
Right.
I'm just asking, since we're doing a show on fetishes, what are some of the things? What are some of your fetishes? I'm not asking you to put it in an open forum, but you can certainly direct message me. You can email me at she'sthequeen@queenjackie.net. You can hit me up on in our Facebook group, the Intimacy Chronicles. You can send us a message there. I mean, I know people have their own, and I think that, with the fetishes that you have, I think that everybody has their own life. And as long as no one is getting hurt by your fetish, by all means, knock yourself out.
Right. Right.
When we do a show like this, it's not to pass judgment, it's just to have an open discussion. I think that we live in a society that people are still uptight about talking about sex.
Right.
And I don't get it. But then I guess if you come from it, if you're talking from a religious standpoint, I know in the black community, certain things, especially if you grew up in the church, it's always like you're damned to hell, for talking about sex, for thinking about sex. Sex is only supposed to be when you're married, or if you have sex before marriage, you're going to hell. I always felt like church people, everything you did was, if you do this, you're going to hell. If you do that, you're going to hell. And I think that's why there's a lot of uptight people. They can't explore themselves sexually because of upbringing. I think that the Bible, we were clobbered over the head with the Bible to kind of make ourselves embarrassed about our sexuality. But I'm going to get off my high horse because sometimes I take it there, but because I think that we should be able to have an open dialogue about sex. No matter what
we're all adults.
If you're gay, straight, it doesn't really matter to me. Live your life, because at the end of the day, I don't have to answer for you and your actions, and you don't have to answer for what I do.
Right.
But what I can tell you about me, I'm always going to live in my truth.
Right.
So.
Now, Richard says, definition, sexual fetishism or erotic fetishism is a sexual fixation on a non-living object or non-genital
yeah.
body part. So are we talking a fixation or curiosity? That's his question.
Well, a fetish is pretty much a fixation. It's something that, like I said, voyeurism is one of mine. I watch porn. I like to watch.
Right.
So I like a damn feather. So it is a fixation of mine.
Right. Because he said.
And so let me just say this to the professor: we're not asking for his Cliff Note version of definitions and that type thing.
Right.
We just want to have an open, carefree dialogue.
Right.
Okay? So put the Webster down.
He says, because I find myself curious about a lot of this, but I'm not fixated.
And there's the difference right there. He's answered his own question.
You answered your own question, brother.
Get out of here with that.
Oh, man, that's funny. That's funny.
Now, it's some different things going on here. Like, there's one called the arousal to the thought of hellfire and damnation. Now, what I'm going to say to that is I don't get it. But if you're a person that is attracted to fire, maybe I could kind of understand it. But I'm not turned on by the thought of going to hell. I don't know about anybody else.
Not me. Not me. I ain't turned on by that neither.
But that's just me, to each his own.
I'm not. Let me tell you, that doesn't that fall under pyro?
Is it pyro? It's hellfire.
If a person like fire,
but it's more of hell. The thought of going to hell or being damned to hell. Mm-hmm. And I would imagine that's a little different.
Right.
Well, I think my Instagram has timed me out, so I'm going to thank each and every one of you on Instagram that joined us. Again, this is my first time actually streaming the show from Instagram. So, I had 4. Yeah. Okay. That was pretty good. So you still on Intimacy Chronicles?
I am.
Okay.
We are still shooting. Yep. Richard said, "All right." Laugh out loud. So you admit to having the dictionary? Is that what you said? All right, too. And Brandy, are you still on? Let me know if you are still on, Brandy. Because if you is, I want to know what your fetish is. I want to know. I'm curious to know.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm so curious to know. Wow. I tell you.
So you can stream live for 1 hour from Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, there's one on here called Melissophilia.
What is it? Arousal to bees. So that is the arousal to bees and wasps. And
who's arousal to that?
Now, let me say this. I'm not saying. I think I can get it a little bit because it's kind of the arousal to being stung. It's not
Lord.
mine. What I'm saying is that I think I can see it because to me it seemed like it would tie into that pain thing, the masochism. But the difference is you're being stung by an insect. It doesn't make sense, but again, like I said, no judgment zone. People like what they like.
No judgment zone.
Who the hell am I?
No judgment zone, but I know me personally. When you are a person who wear perfume, who wears cologne, this is summertime. The bees are out here. They hungry. The whole 9 yards. I don't want to be stung.
Right.
I remember when I was a teenager, and we was on our way on a bus trip, and I was sitting on the bus, and got stung twice. And you will never believe where.
On the butt?
No. One stung on my bottom lip.
Okay.
And not knowing, when he stung me, he jumped in my can of soda. So when I went to drink, he stung me again in the top lip.
I thought they usually die after. Wow.
Well, they supposed, if they sting you, then after that they're supposed to die.
That's what I thought.
But I think it probably, because it was hot that day, we had the windows was down or whatever. I think I probably had some cologne on or whatever, or they just smelled the sugar or something.
Right.
And I got stung twice.
Wow.
Top lip and bottom lip. You talking
Your
about
lip
some
must have
Mick
been
Jagger
good.
type stuff. I'm telling you. And the
Your
only
lip
thing,
must have been good, man.
yeah, I'm telling you, it's just crazy. Like people, like during the summertime, they just think that if you just put a can down, bees, they'll go in there and they'll hide. And when you take a sip, bang, you get stung. So anybody that's aroused with the bee stings and all that, more power to you. Because I can't deal with that.
To each his own.
I can't deal with that.
Here's an interesting one. Arousal to the cognitively impaired or developmentally challenged. It's called savantophilia.
What?
But now, if we're talking, remember that conversation we had, and Mr. Sensational said something about the retarded girl that she was fat to death. So, I mean, I'm not saying that that's his fetish, but he just made a statement.
But he was probably aroused to her.
And she was fat, according to him.
If he said fat to death, he was aroused to her. He was aroused to her. Fat to death to her.
Well, that doesn't mean that was his fetish. It's just that, he was intrigued. I'll say that. I like the way that sounds. Intrigued.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, yeah, Brandy, the question was, what's your fetish? I want to know. Let me see if you'll be open enough to tell. Now, I've never heard of this, but it's called necrophilia.
I saw that, and
who is aroused
to
corpses?
The Undertaker.
No, that's their job.
It's their job, but who decides? I think that you would have to have some type of passion to go into a field like that. Like, what is it about dead people that would make you want to work with them? And I've heard stories about some weird things going on in funeral homes. So,
oh my Lord.
Which is why it's not so hard to believe that an undertaker would be a necrophiliac.
Are we talking about the same thing as far as funeral home?
That people have had sex with the
dead?
Yeah. So
yeah, I heard that.
Those are the kind of people that would probably have that type of fetish, believe it or not.
Now, if you're a person that like to do that, you can mess around if you want to. And the story that I heard, I wouldn't even want to be in that predicament. Now, I'm going to briefly say, there was a guy who does the embalming, worked in a funeral home, whatever. That's the one that get the dead dressed and all of that stuff or whatever. And he decided to have sex with this young female that had died or whatever. Mm-hmm. In there pumping on her. Next thing you know, because all of the fluids or whatever, so her pussy closes up. Pussy closes up. He can't even pull his dick out.
Well,
They had to call the fire department to come in there. They had to cut the woman's pussy open so they can get his man out of there.
Okay.
That's crazy. Like, I can deal with funerals, but to be in a place, a room that is just nothing but dead bodies, I don't know if I can I don't know if I can deal with that.
Well, again,
I mean, I can deal with it, but I can't deal with it.
But I mean, if you think about it from the standpoint, when you start talking men, because I don't know too many women, but maybe that's being sexist, that would want to have sex with a corpse.
It's probably some. I mean,
I would say that the percentage from women to men is lower for women. Men, y'all some horny bastards, you know what I'm saying?
Here we go, man. Here we go.
And think about this, okay, if you are a necrophiliac and you're in the funeral home with corpses, they're not going to tell you no.
Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next one.
I'm just saying, you know, yeah, there's another that's telephilia, arousal to reproductive aged adults. Is that a fetish?
Reproductive age adults?
Yeah, you know, that are in their baby making. Oh yeah, a lot of you men, y'all like to have sex with
having sex
women.
with pregos?
Yeah, yeah. I always heard.
I've had it. I've done it.
That's the best.
That is the best. That is the best
to me,
pussy.
That make y'all some nasty rascals.
That is the best pussy that you'll ever come across. I'm telling you, it is good. It is good. So, now, hear this out.
Who is it?
Brandy.
Brandy, you on fire tonight,
yes,
girl.
she is. Yes, she is.
Go, Brandy.
She says, I don't know if there's a such thing, but I get aroused with smells. She says, I love a person who smells fresh and clean.
Yeah.
It's a turn on for me.
And I'm Brandy, I can dig it because that's my thing too. And if I'm being honest, when it comes down to fragrances, the fragrances that really, really turn me on are woodsy musk fragrances. Oh
Paul
my
Sebastian.
God. Paul Sebastian.
I'm out of that right
John Paul.
Now what about now what about what I have on right now?
I don't know what you have.
Go and take a good whiff.
I like it, but it's not like a turn on like a Paul Sebastian would be.
Okay.
So I'm with you on that, Brandy. It's like certain fragrances, especially a musk, a nice musk, is like, man, that just makes me hot. Yeah, so I can dig it.
So the question is, for Brandy, when you say turn on, are you saying turned on like, he smelled good, or are you turned on like
arousal? For me, it's arousal.
Oh my God, he smells so motherfucking good.
Yeah, for me,
like
it's
arousal as in like you ready to drop your drawers arousal. You know, because
if it's not
there are plenty of women that I say,
yeah,
oh my God, she smells wonderful.
If it's not your guy, I mean, it is for me. It's an arousal, but if it's not my guy, then I'm not gonna drop my drawers. But I'm just saying there are like certain smells that are definitely a turn on for me. So yeah.
Okay.
That was a good one, Brandy.
She says everybody don't smell good wearing the same fragrance.
And that's true. And I think that it comes down to knowing your bodies. Like for me, I know that flowered fragrances smell like roach spray on me. So I'm the woodsy kind of girl. My fragrances, even for myself, would be like the musk, woodsy kind of fragrance because those work well with my body chemistry. When they're real sweet and flowery, it just smells like a cannery. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but it comes down to knowing your body and what works for you. Not everybody seems to know their bodies like that.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Richard said he knew someone who was aroused by his natural scent. No cologne.
The essence of Richard.
The essence, yeah. Yeah. Is that...
He has on herbal essence.
Herbal Richard.
Herbal Richard.
Herbal Richards. You know, I ain't seen that on the shelf.
Okay.
You know.
Then
Now
you
saying natural scent. Obviously, she must was attracted to the soap.
He talking to us about his wife.
Oh, we talking about your wife? Oh, come on. Come on, man. Boo. Come on. I thought you had some stories together.
Don't
come on now.
With that.
You know we get naked. Stop playing all the damn life.
But you haven't really said what yours are. I mean, I done snatched the sheets off of myself. You know, stop dicking around and tell us what your fetish is.
Oh, man.
Now, I can see yours being transvestic fetish.
What?
Fetishes.
What?
Listen to what it is. It's arousal to female garments touching the male skin. Mm. That's one of your fetishes. You probably done had some female panties around your damn penis.
No. No, I have not.
Lies.
No, I have not.
Lies he tells.
No, I have not.
Never.
I have.
Around
no.
your head.
Huh?
Around your head.
You didn't say that at first.
Well, I knew it. Because you look like the type. I'm just saying.
I will wear, let me tell you, if a woman takes care of her body, she's smelling good, the whole 9 yards, I don't mind sniffing the panties. I don't mind putting the panties on my head. I don't mind that. That is just, that's a turn on for me. Now, that is a turn on. I will say that is.
When you break up with a guy, I've had this happen. Why do you all want to smell the panties? Like, can I smell your panties one last time? What kind of shit is that?
Because sometimes we know when. Because sometimes we know we ain't gonna be. The next woman may not smell like that. The next woman may not even smell like that. May not even smell like that. She ain't gonna. That's why we say one last time, or we may say, Can I keep them? Can I keep those panties? You know, but
right, and that's another thing. Men will ask, well, can I just have a pair of your panties? You can take the ones on that you have. You can take the ones off that you have on. I mean, what is the fascination with that? It's like, is it, you know, you don't really want to break up, but because you don't have a choice, well, let me have this souvenir.
That's what we like.
Okay.
We want the panties as a souvenir. We ain't gonna see you no more. We want the panties as a souvenir. I'm sorry.
So
y'all don't. I mean, y'all shouldn't mind. Shit, I ain't gonna see you no more. You ain't gonna see me no more. Shit, you ain't gonna be missing them.
So what? Do you ride home smelling the damn panties the whole time? I mean, do you have a drawer of panties?
No. No, I don't. No, I don't. And I'm slipping.
You are slipping.
I'm slipping because I used to keep a little stash.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But I'm slipping. I'm slipping.
Not surprised.
Richard said, no, not the wife.
I thought we talked about laying low, man.
Right, yeah. I told you, man. You don't want to. You don't want that kind of problems. Me and Mr. Sensational will rub off for you.
So there's another fetish called nismolagnia, which is the arousal to being tickled. Now, I'm actually going to talk about that because for me, I don't think that's sexy. If we are about to connect, there's nothing sexy at all to me about tickling the hell out of me before we get busy.
Yeah.
I just
Not even doing it.
The mood. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like
I'm
my
all
feet
turned on, and now you want to tickle. Man, get out of here.
Yeah. That. Wow. Tickling somebody doing it.
I don't think it's necessarily doing it, but it's that some people are turned on by tickling another person.
Now, I myself have, let's say, tickled a woman, okay, and while I'm tickling her, you know, it may lead to a kiss.
Okay.
And then the kiss may lead to, you know what I'm saying, the intimacy. But it ain't no, yeah, yeah, you like that?
Because that was
Fuck
the
that.
hell out of me.
Fuck that. That is annoying. I don't even like my feet tickled.
Yeah.
If we playing around, fine. But don't touch my feet while you didn't kick. Mood killer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mood killer.
I can see that being a mood killer.
Mood killer. My dick will say automatically, bitch, you playing.
It'll shut down.
Yeah, bitch, you playing.
Yeah,
You
shut
playing.
down.
You playing. You playing. Brandy said she was with this guy and just, she said, I was with this one guy and just him getting out of the shower after using a regular Dove bar was enough. It just carried in his skin, and that was a definite turn on.
Gotcha.
That's Dove, huh? I'm glad I used Dove. I'm glad I used Dove. That's right, Sean. Sean says no touching my feet. Thank you. No touching the feet. For real.
Okay.
Now, here's one that's going to blow your mind. Now, I know there's a lot on here that we can't judge people, but we might have to judge on this one, okay? It's called lithophilia.
What is that?
Lithophilia is arousal to stone and gravel.
I saw that. I thought that was pretty
Who is
interesting.
aroused to stone and gravel? In the bedroom?
Well, it doesn't. No, now let me just be clear. These fetishes are not just limited to the bedroom. You know, thanks for joining me, Shauna. They're not just limited to the bedroom. I think that some people have these fetishes and they could be out in public. I think it just depends on where you react. I think that if you are fixated on something, I don't think it really matters where you are.
Right.
A fetish, like Richard said, it is a fixation. It's something that really turns you on. So you don't necessarily have to be home to, you know, partake in your fetish. I'm just saying, you know. Hey, Rosa. I think that people have different types of fetishes. Some of them can be extreme, but who am I to judge? I think that we like what we like. You know what I mean? Does it make me a peeping Tom because I like to watch?
If you're going over somebody's fence, yeah!
I'm not doing that. I mean, the extent of my watching would be, you moving my microphone.
Wow.
Would be pornography. That's kind of
okay.
like the extent of me watching. So, except for like I said that one time as a kid, which that started me on my journey to watch.
And you've been watching ever since.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this question: when you watched that person, and you watched that couple, did you go back the next day hoping that they were doing it?
Turned on. I was like, let's play hide and seek, y'all.
So you can go back and see if they were doing it again? We can't judge it, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't judge me, and if you judge me, I really don't give a damn because I like what I like. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let's play hide and seek.
Let's play
only
hide
to watch
and
over.
So,
sad.
hide and go freak, Sean said. Yeah, you can call it that too. I was exposed early, so I knew that watching would be something that would kind of follow me into adulthood. The mirror thing came later on, you know. But I'm going to be honest, I love standing in front of the mirror, just looking at myself, sometimes touching myself. I get so goddamn excited. But again, don't fucking judge me. I'm just saying, I like what I like. I think that sex is empowering. I think that If you don't judge me, big head.
Oh my God, that's funny. That's funny. That is funny.
And I think that, sometimes I think that we're so closeted that we won't explore certain things because of how we were taught, which I think makes for a boring sexual experience.
Right.
That's my opinion. I think that it's so many different things out here. Like there's a fetish called what is it? Nasolingus. Some people have a fetish to sucking on a person's nose. Well, that would definitely be a turn off to me. I don't want anybody sucking my goddamn nose. I don't even want you sucking my ears. To be quite honest. I don't want you sticking your tongue in my ear. That's not my thing. And as liberated as I am, that is just not one of my things.
That's a turn on for me.
When somebody sticks their tongue in your ear, you just hear all this.
That is a turn on.
I don't like that. It
feels like you're
stop. Stop. Now, I might be open to you maybe nibbling on my ear a little, but not so much. That's not my thing.
Oh, man.
That's definitely not my thing.
Richie, you something else, man.
Yeah, that's the devil.
He said one person made me talk with a West Indian accent during sex.
That he already has.
He says I was like Guan bigger.
That is his native language. Don't even go by him. That is his native language. Don't go by him. Tell him go to bed.
Oh my God. You heard her. Go to bed. Go to bed, man.
Stay up for Nate Live.
Go to bed, man. Oh man.
It's funny because there is a fetish called climacophilia. It is the arousal to falling downstairs.
Oh,
now,
I've seen
who
that.
in the hell would think it's a turn on to throw yourself down the steps? There are people that are fixated with falling down the steps. So I guess my question is, and I don't know if we got anybody listening that's into that, but if you throw yourself down the steps, are you looking to be fucked afterwards?
You definitely gonna be fucked up.
Right, exactly. So if you're all broken up, what kind of pleasure, or is it the pleasure in the fall and not knowing how you will land? Is that it?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, but...
Like, before you fuck me, I need to fall down these steps.
Yeah.
Because ain't nothing gonna happen until I get a good boom, 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 boom.
And how many steps are we talking? Are we talking like the winding staircase? Or are we talking about 3 or 4 steps? You know what I'm saying? I mean, 3 or 4 steps, I can see somebody doing that, but if we're talking about the long steps,
man. Are we talking about 3 flights?
The possibility that you may break your neck, that's a little different. That's definitely a little different.
Oh, my God. Oh my God, that's funny.
There's chasmophilia, arousal to caverns, crevices, and valleys. And now I wonder if that means having sex in a cavern or crevice or valley. That I'm not really clear on. But if it's the arousal of having sex in those type of places, I think I can kind of understand that, because most likely you're in those places and it's just you and another person. So I think I can kind of get that. I'm not one that would want to be in a cave at all.
In a cage?
Cave.
No. Now, there's one.
Hi, Rebecca and April. Thanks for joining me.
There's one, it's called gerontophilia.
Arousal to the elderly.
Can we put a age on that?
Well, what do you classify elderly as? And don't you dare say 50 and older.
50 and older. 50 and older.
Well, I'm sexy
I mean,
as
don't
hell,
get me wrong.
so
I
I'm sexy as hell. So if
and you 51.
I'm 51.
The highest age that I've had sex with a woman was she was 55.
I'm gonna say elderly would probably be 65 and older. That's what I'm gonna say. Elderly.
I mean, it all depends on how the body is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry. It all depends on how the body is, and if their sexual appetite is still up there.
And here's what I'm gonna say about that: men, y'all fizzle out fast. At our age, I'm gonna say 40 and up, we are at our sexual peak. So I understand where the term cougar comes from, because at 51, and if I was with somebody my age, chances are they may or may not be able to keep up with me, because you all fizzle out by 21. So I'm just going to say, I think I can kind of get that, but as far as being fixated on somebody 65 and older, not my thing, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you set out to say, brother so-and-so looking fly over there. I think I want to give him a try. He with his cane, but he make him blow your back out.
Right.
So
right.
I think it just depends, you know. We live in the day of Viagra. You know, it probably used to be back in the day, you got you an older guy, you might not have had to do a whole lot of work, but now since we're in the Viagra era, you can't just spank him on the ass and send him to sleep. You know, you can't just kiss his forehead
because
and say, good night, baby.
Yeah, none of that.
Put in that work, because
put in that work.
He got the Cialis, he got the Viagra, so yeah.
And it's going to be going on all night long. All night long.
Or he might give you a heart attack because his peace won't go down, you know?
Mm.
Hey, Davon. Hi,
now,
Ashley.
Here's one called xylophilia.
What is that?
I'm going to let you look at that one.
Arousal to wood. You mean a man's wood or...
What the fuck,
I
man?
don't understand, and I
Are
would
you
probably
serious?
say that would I don't think that would be a woman's arousal. I would pretty much say that's probably a man's.
And did you see the one underneath that? Zoophilia.
Well, I've seen a video of a woman having sex with a dog and a horse.
I've
First
seen
of all,
that
a
too.
horse, if you decide as a woman that you want to have sex with a horse look
White
like
people.
that would give you a hysterectomy. An instant hysterectomy. I'm just saying, because a horse is big. I mean, goddamn, that just seemed like.
Hold on. Do you need to fan
No,
yourself?
I'm saying I've seen a video and I'm like, who decides that's something that they want to do? All these men out here, who wants to fuck a horse?
I think it's the pleasure that a woman have to feel like if she didn't already tried every man's penis, dick,
and
whatever.
she hasn't found that man that was
and she hasn't had that big, deep, you know, they feel like
I
the
think
horse.
that all women don't require to have a well-endowed man.
True.
You could have that guy and he not know what the hell to do with it, you know, if I'm being honest. So, and I always, you know, people always say the size matter. I think for me, it's more about what he knows how to do with the tool that he has.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, you know, but that's just me. I've heard, when we did our show at Corinthians, and the girl was saying that she was, heavy set girl, and she mentioned that a small dude couldn't do anything for her. I think that's interesting because I think it depends on the guy. I think that's kind of like a psychological thing to say, oh, a small dude can't do anything for me, because that's saying I've had every small guy out here and, they can't do anything. I think, that's a mental thing.
Well,
because I tend to believe that if he knows what he's doing, he can rock your world.
If he knows.
Right,
what he's doing.
Absolutely, LaShawna. If he knows how to work it, that's all that matters.
Right.
We get caught up a lot of times as women on size, and believe me, I've had a guy that was well hung. He was a minute man. What the hell can I do in a minute?
Sneeze.
Yeah. By the time I got into it, it's over. So he was packing, but he came quick.
Man, you that
and
good?
I think that sometimes even when you're talking about coming fast, I think it's about control. I think that as men, some of you all don't know how to control your sexual power. You get excited fast and may actually come fast. So don't frown your face up, because it is a fact. I'm not saying all men. I think that sometimes you all are so excited that you got to that next step that sometimes your fireworks start early.
I don't think that I don't think that is the next step. I think that it all depends on the feel of a woman's vagina. How what it is, how soft it is.
So
it could be the way that you move your hips.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the way that you're moaning. It could be the way that you're grabbing us. It could be you clenching your muscles. I mean.
So you're not going to admit that sometimes men are so excited that they come fast? I mean, if we're being honest, be honest about that.
There are some men that come fast. There are some men that come fast because they're excited.
That it's every time. Exactly.
Because you're right. They're excited, but it goes to the feel of the pussy.
I don't think it's always like that. I think sometimes it is a control issue.
So basically, you saying a man goes in, pumps 3 times, now he's busting.
Fired, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, and then.
I'm not saying. What I'm saying is that.
Wow.
It happens. It happens.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, but at the same time, you gotta have control.
That's what I'm saying.
Get into it, but put your mind somewhere else so you don't have to come fast.
Right. Because let me tell you something. If I'm just getting started and you like, and I'm looking at you like, what the fuck?
Tell me she just didn't shimmy. Was that y'all didn't see that?
I'm just getting started.
She just shimmied.
And you talking about oh. What? Are you crazy?
Listen.
I'd probably say lose my number.
Oh my God. That is terrible. That is.
Oh God.
Men, I hope y'all listening. Take advantage and don't be the minute man.
I'm saying that
because a lot of y'all minute man are making it hard for us men.
I'm gonna say that sometimes excitement does that. The thing is, even if you have that time where you just you release fast, make it up to me in the next round. But don't say I take care of you after I get this nap out. Because I'm going to hand you your shit and walk you to the door.
That's foul.
I know, ain't that foul?
That's foul. That's petty, and that's foul.
I'm petty.
Because y'all women will do that to us. Y'all get y'all nut, and y'all lay there, and we be like, "Come on, babe, come on."
Well, let me ask you a question.
No.
Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna put this out there to my people. The percentage of women that come fast versus men is probably 5% or less. And women, I'm going to ask y'all, when it comes to sex, who's always the first one to get their nut? Men or women? And my answer is going to be a man.
Can we do 60-40?
No, hell to the
What?
no. Because I'm
okay,
going to
but
say...
we 60. Y'all 40.
No.
It ain't no 5. It ain't no 5. There are women that, y'all get excited just like we do.
I'm not saying
so
that
when the man get up in there and stroke a couple times, you get women busting up right there.
It depends.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What I'm saying is the percentage is a lot lower.
We don't call y'all men.
Well,
or men and women.
But here's the thing. Now, okay, if you want to use that example, here's what I'm going to say to that. We can have back-to-back orgasms. You all have to wait for your shit to get hard again. We still ready. Y'all done came, and we still like, really?
That's not.
We are ready.
That's
you all
not
have
true.
To wait.
That's not
you all
true.
have to build back up.
That's
that
not true.
hard
That's not true for all men. That's not true for all men because
I'm
even
not saying that. What I'm saying is that we are geared to have multiple orgasms, and a lot of times we might have to wait for y'all to get started again.
Well, it all depends on the love making in the bed. If a man, okay, I'll give you a prime example because you seem like I'm losing you, but I'm gonna wheel you back. I'm gonna wheel you back in. So if a man is intimate with a woman, and let's say a man busts a nut, okay, if a woman begins to caress him and suck him or whatever, we right back. We right back. You understand what I'm saying?
And I get what you're saying. My point is we have to work at getting y'all back up. We are still ready even after the orgasm. Is my point.
I mean, okay.
Right. Yeah. We can go there.
But what about the women? What about the women who feel like that they can't come no more?
Well, some women are not really
I can't
like
come
that.
anymore.
What you mean, after having 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Well, would it be necessary to come again after having 3 or 4?
But y'all.
We can do back to back. How many men can have a back to back orgasm like that?
Men?
Yeah.
Oh, not me.
Exactly.
That's
exactly
not
the
me.
point that I'm making.
One good shot.
That's the point that I'm making. That's absolutely the point that I'm making.
Give me about 10 to 15 minutes.
Shit, 20, 25 minutes.
If you want me to throw you back, I need 20, 25 minutes, half an hour.
Meanwhile, we're still waiting, like, really? Really?
I'm just saying. Okay, now, I'm going to tell you the reason why. I read on that.
Go ahead.
I read on that. I read on that. We have something in our body that I can't remember what the name of it is, but the minute that we ejaculate, it lowers our blood count as far as our energy and stuff like that. I'll have the name next week.
But here's what I'm gonna share with you, because I spoke about this on many shows.
Right.
If you all start to do your research and look into tantric massages and stuff, you all can control that sexual power to where after you ejaculate, that you have not depleted your sexual energy. It's all about doing research and learning better ways to extend your sexual energy. Because while we're still waiting for you all to get up, I mean, you know, we might grab a vibrator or something just to get that second or third orgasm.
Well, this is what I've learned. Men, and a lot of men will say, "No, I ain't doing that" or whatever. This is what you do. Before you know you and your woman get ready to get into it, take some time to yourself. Watch some porn. Get that first nut off. When you and your woman get together, now you got the energy, you got the longevity.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Because you already got that first nut off. So once you get that first nut off, let's say about an hour later you and your woman get into it, now you can hang with her. You can hang with her.
And
if
even
she
if
getting
you
3 or
decide,
4,
yeah.
you can hang with her because you already got that first nut off.
Even if you decide not to do it your way, it comes down a lot of times to your breathing. If you are not in control of your breath, it's going to affect the quick orgasm, or ejaculation, as you call it. So again, men have to learn to control their sexual energy. Start taking breathing exercises to extend that sexual energy. Because a lot of times we want 2 or 3 orgasms. I'm not saying every time, but you have to learn how to channel that energy.
So let me ask
It's not men. I think a lot of times it's so much more than the gratification.
Right.
Right. And when men master that and understand that it's not just about that, then they can extend the ejaculation period.
Well, can you tell me this as a woman? When we engage into sexual with you, how many, and just be honest, how many orgasms or nuts are you all looking to get in order to be satisfied for that
I told you mine. I've said this many times. For me to have a good day for the rest of the week,
oh my God,
I'm probably gonna need 3.
3 to get you through the week.
To get me through the week. That's just for that day. But what I'm saying is that for me, I meditate a lot. And in my meditation, sometimes I pleasure myself. A lot of times. So for me, I kind of need that daily ritual. But in the act of sex, I'm probably going to want at least 3.
Okay.
Yeah. But I have high sexual energy, and I've always had. So, yeah.
Now, is it 3 any way you get it? Or do you prefer it to be...
I prefer vaginal. Which is another interesting thing. There are about 60% of women that have still not experienced a vaginal orgasm. And what that tells me is that there are a lot of unfulfilled women who haven't taken the time to learn themselves and what gets them to that level.
Right.
Some of it is trauma, too, where they can't have a vaginal orgasm. Most women have experienced a clitoral orgasm because it's easy.
Okay.
Vaginal, you have to work a little bit more harder, but they don't know how to get themselves to that point or help that man get themselves to that point. I know for me, it's so funny because I'm always trying different things, and I remember a few years ago to prop myself up and to be able to have him hit my G-spot, I propped pillows under me.
Right.
So that he's at the right angle.
Right. I've seen women do that.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's about knowing women and don't be afraid to explore. Lord knows I know every inch of my body. I know what's going to give me back-to-back orgasms quick. And having these conversations with my brothers, they always look at me like I'm weird. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, I think I broke my own record,
Oh man, that's
So,
funny. That's funny.
It's just I think that when you know yourself, it's empowering.
Right.
Then you can get that man to take you to the level you want to be, because it's a partnership that you have, with your mate, and you all are in it to please one another.
Right.
So it's about exploring each other.
Right.
I think that a lot of times when we look at the gratification side, we may not always be getting the most out of our orgasms.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. That is true. That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, Kia. That is true.
Hi, Sharon. Hi, Danielle.
That is true.
Wendy. I thank you, ladies, for
That
joining
is
us. And I'm going to put this out to the group, women. What's your requirement? How many orgasms do you have to have in order to be fulfilled?
Wow. That's a good one. That is a good one.
And I don't
That
want
is a
to
good
be,
one.
Crickets, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm curious, for me, like I said, I know what it takes for me to get to a certain level. I know what I need in order to be fulfilled.
Wow. Wow, that's something else.
And it's something for men to think about. I'm not saying all men, but I know for the most part, isn't it usually the gratification for men?
To see y'all get it?
And for you, I mean, are you looking?
It makes us. I'll use me.
Okay.
It makes me. It gets me aroused and hot more when I know you getting that orgasm.
Right.
So that's giving me the,
to get up and go.
The get up and go. Like the, the. Am I rocking in the chair? Oh my God! I'm.
He done got excited.
I'm getting excited.
Y'all, he is rocking back and forth in that chair. He fall off that chair. Let me tell y'all, I'm gonna be laughing my ass off. Okay? Cause he done read back.
Let me tell you, it just started. I was having a cataclysmic ass orgasm just by thinking about it. Period. Period. Because I'm a doggy style man, so it's just something about when a woman is just backing it up on you and you just watching it like, yeah, and then all of a sudden you hear that she getting her organ and you like, yeah, pop. Yeah.
I imagine that you're empowered because you're pleasuring her and you're seeing her enjoy herself.
Yeah. Now some men, we are not worried about us in the beginning. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I'm not worried about me. Mm-hmm. I know I'm gonna get mine, right. But it's just the fact of her just getting hers getting hers, and just rubbing her butt and grabbing and smacking it.
Let me just tell y'all, for you all that can't see, he's rocking. He's smacking his leg as if he's smacking somebody's ass. You know what I'm saying? He done got so excited that it's ridiculous. He done wore his leg out. You know what I'm saying?
No. Don't fucking judge me.
I ain't judging, but
don't judge me.
The hell out of his leg.
Listen. Nobody says anything. Nobody says anything when you start talking about your fetishes or what you do in the bedroom, and you start going into your cataclysmic moment.
Okay.
We just let you talk. You take a good 2 deep breaths, and then we back on the subject. Hey.
I get distracted.
I
get distracted.
So. More than distracted, it's more hot.
I get excited.
Like I wish I can text my husband and let him know to be ready when I get home. I know
it's funny. I think that, I'm going to be honest. I've always loved sex. I love the topic of sex. I love the act of sex.
Right.
I'm always interested in learning new things. And I'm always looking for that next level orgasm, because I know it exists. I've had it, but I'm always looking to take it to the next level. So
Right.
that's just me, I think, what is life if you can't have that cataclysmic orgasm? If you're not getting it, you haven't had it, you're wasting your time. Get out there, learn some shit. You know what I'm saying? Read some books, because I do a lot of that. I read a lot, especially in terms of my body and what it takes to get me to a certain level. Even that, to have that mental connection, because when you got that mental connection and you combine that with the physical, it is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have that, you're clearly missing it. Take the time to read. There are some excellent books out there on sex. In my household, we weren't able to talk about sex. And a lot of what I learned from reading. My friends that I hung with, most of them were older, so I learned a lot from them. When I started doing massages, I told a story a while ago. I worked in a salon, and I remember giving a guy a happy ending. And for those of you that don't know what a happy ending is, I gave him a full body massage. But when I was working on, his chest, my bad, beloved, I had kind of like a brush, a little small brush, and I was caressing his nipples. He was so relaxed with me that he allowed himself to open up, and I gave him an orgasm. And I wasn't trying, I was trying to relax him. Aaron, be quiet. Aaron talking about he need to be going to that salon tonight. But at that time,
because she never gives the name of the salon.
I'm not. They're out of business now. And not because of me. Let me just clear that up.
Right. We know. They made money while you were there.
But
let's call it spade.
What I'm gonna say about that, at that point, I had no idea of my power. I wasn't trying to do that. But once I did that, I wanted to learn more, and I said it made me understand how powerful touch was. So once I understood that, then I decided to take my education to another level, which is why I started doing research on Tantra.
Right.
And being able to combine the power of touch with spirituality and sensuality. I'm telling you, I really can't preach it enough. It will work wonders for your relationship if you have an open-minded mate, But in that moment, I was so goddamn embarrassed, because I'm like, oh, wow. And his wife sitting there looking at me like, what the hell did you do?
Right.
But at the same time, she was like, he really was relaxed with you, that he was able to let himself go like that. And boy, did he let himself go. Like, I remember once they left, and like my co-workers were like, what the hell did you do in there? So, yeah.
What, you had to wipe the walls down?
It was a little The police did not come shut it down, because we weren't that type of salon. That type of salon was next door.
Oh, man, that's funny. That's funny.
And they wouldn't shut that one down, because a lot of them frequented that place. So,
I wonder, is there places out there that's still like that?
There are still places like that, and they advertise adult massages.
Okay.
It's very easy to be able to do that. I mean, as I mentioned before, practicing reflexology, all the nerve endings you have are in your hands and your feet. You can give somebody a happy ending just by, touching their nerve endings in their hands or in their feet.
Now, I've heard something in my lifetime about that a man's hand in a woman's hair is that a turn on for you all?
It's exciting for me.
You know, just to rub your head and
Yeah.
you know your scalp and all that.
Well,
I mean, I'm not talking. We ain't talking about why you giving us head.
No,
you know.
I'm saying it's exciting. It's something about somebody massaging your scalp.
Right.
I think that, you know, we miss the boat on how powerful touch is.
Right.
It is so powerful. Oh my God. You know, even just giving an example, like if I have a headache, you know, your pituitary glands are located at your fingertips. So a lot of times what I'll do is squeeze my finger, and any, you know, pain that I have in my body, if I squeeze my finger for a while, that pain goes away. So what I'm doing when I'm squeezing my finger is sending, that's the pituitary gland. So I'm sending that energy throughout my body to where the pain is.
Any finger?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
that's where your pituitary gland is.
Okay.
It's your fingertips. So it's just about knowing those things. And people definitely read. Learn about the power of touch and how healing it is. I think that we've gotten so far away from touching ourselves and touching each other because we're so into our devices, and that's what we're touching more, that we need to reconnect with one another. Something as simple as a scalp massage, as you mentioned, because I'm so sensitive to touch, would definitely turn me on.
Okay.
I think because I'm sensitive to touch, you can pretty much touch, you know, anywhere on me, and I'm gonna probably be aroused. So, yeah, I'm just me. But it goes back to your comfort zone, and not everybody is comfortable with being touched.
Right.
So, what, Aaron? I love scalp massages, not even in a sexual way. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it feels good. It's like your scalp is being manipulated.
Right.
So it is a good feeling. And it puts me to sleep. I'm not going to lie. Mm-hmm. You know, if I got a good scalp massage, I'm going to go to sleep.
Wow.
So then that's something simple you can do for your women, you know. Just rub their scalp.
Yeah.
It don't cost you a thing. And not just their scalp, but anywhere on their body, you know. I mean, and it works both ways, women. You got to rub your men. Put your phones down. Put your iPads down. Rub each other. Oh, is it 9 o'clock already? I forget. I mean, I get to run in my mouth. Let me just leave you all with this. We talked about sexual fetish. If they got weave, rub their forehead, damn it. I knew somebody would ask, and it had to be Jason, my cousin Jason. Rub their forehead. Actually, though, you can still do a scalp massage. You're just going to have to do it on top of the weave, that's all.
Just do it with gloves on, Jason.
But what I am going to say, people, we got to get back to touching one another. Put your devices down. Start touching each other. Start talking to one another. Find out your turn-ons and turn-offs. Because what I find a lot of times, couples that have been together for a couple of years still don't know how to turn each other on because they're not discussing it. Men, take your egos out of sex. It does not belong there. If a woman is trying to tell you how to please her, please take heed and don't look at it as if she's complaining. Mm-hmm. Look at it as a learning opportunity. Women, if your man is saying, I don't like when you do this, or I don't like when you touch my man like that, please don't get offended. Listen, make some adjustments, because you're in those relationships together, and it should always evolve. You all should always listen to one another. Find out your turn-ons and turn-offs, and just explore each other. Don't be afraid to really get naked with your mate. I tell you, one of the things that's a big turn-on for me is being able to meditate naked. You know, that's exciting, you know, and to develop that spiritual connection. You all should try it. When I say get naked, I'm telling you, You have to get naked. I think that when you're naked with your mate, you're at your most vulnerable. That is the ideal opportunity to have those difficult conversations, to explore each other's bodies, learn new things about each other. If you're not doing that, you're missing the boat on so much pleasure. You know, relationships are hard, believe me. But if you are constantly working on it, it doesn't have to be hard. It is about the commitment that you made to one another. And you should both always be evolving. For those of you that are single, take the time to get to know yourself, even if that means touching yourself, different areas. I mean,
that's getting to know yourself.
That's getting to know yourself.
Getting to know you.
Don't be afraid, though. I think that when you meditate with yourself and you get to know your body, you can better assist that man or woman. You know, when you finally meet Mr. or Mrs. Right, you all can go to Utopia together. So I'm going to get off my soapbox. It's after 9 o'clock. But what I am going to say, meet us at Corinthians July 31st. I'm going to have comedian Omar Terrell on my guest panel. So it should be a live show. That's going to be from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., 7107 Winter Mill Road. I mention Corinthians a lot because they love us. And they made sure I had a fantastic birthday party. It was such a great time. They even hooked me up the next morning because I was still a bit hungover, and I went around there. They had me a nice tall glass of a Bloody Mary ready, so I felt so much better.
Oh man, okay.
When I say I have a great relationship with them, they are the best. So meet us there July 31st, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I think that's all we have coming up for right now, so I will see you all next Monday. I will be posting the YouTube link in the Intimacy Chronicle groups. Please share this with your friends and family members. I definitely like for us to go viral, so share it with as many people as you can. And again, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out to celebrate my birthday. Thank you for tuning in every week to the Intimacy Chronicles. I love and appreciate each one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From the Queen, we're out. Good night, everyone. It's good. YouTube, send me your fetishes at She's the Queen at queenjackie.net. I'll read some of those fetishes. You can remain anonymous, but I'll read them during the next show. Also, you can send them to, I said She's the Queen at queenjackie.net, or you can send them to erotic taboo sensual touch at gmail.com. You can send me a message on Facebook at the Intimacy Chronicles, or you can direct message me on Instagram at Queen_Jackie A. Tell me what your sexual fetishes are. Please do not send me any dick pictures because I'm not interested. So
no disrespectful shit.
Yeah, no disrespectful shit. I'm always professional. So keep that in mind. Have a great night, and thank you for tuning in.